We all have those images in our heads of Sergio Perez defending like crazy against Lewis Hamilton in the finale of last season to buy Max Verstappen some time to catch up with Hamilton and eventually win the title. So Perez has been an integral part in the resurgence of Red Bull back to F1 glory. But is Perez happy with his situation at Red Bull? If so, is it even in his control on whether he sticks with the team or not? And will a familiar face come back to Red Bull? Stick around to find out. Since Perez's arrival at Red Bull, the Mexican driver has been nothing but magnificent, playing his role in support of Max Verstappen. It's only this year that Perez has been able to flex his muscle a bit and get closer than ever to Verstappen's pace. Last season, Perez would be behind Verstappen by an average of 0.773 seconds, and this season the Mexican has shaved the gap down to 0.021. But we must remember that Perez isn't a homegrown Red Bull driver that climbed up the ranks through the team's program, which is also why to many fans, Perez is playing second fiddle to Verstappen, who is undoubtedly Red Bull's most prized driver at the moment. But when Perez was asked if he does feel he's been relegated by the team to be number 2, Perez replied with, "I'm in F1 because I know I can win and be champion. I don't have to prove anything. I have to prove it to myself. I don't want to win races. My focus is to win the championship. If they asked me to let Max win a race when I could win the championship, we would have problems. But I don't see that happening now. The team have been open in telling us they want both drivers up front. Nothing would be better than to fight for the championship with Max, because that would mean Red Bull is the powerhouse." If you think Perez has been awesome during his stay at Red Bull, then why don't you like and subscribe for more content like this? Perez's contract with Red Bull ends at the end of the season, with Red Bull executives being open in saying that they do not have a concrete decision as of now as to who should drive alongside Verstappen next season. Helmut Marko, Red Bull's head of driver development program, has said publicly that currently the second seat at Red Bull is up for grabs between AlphaTauri's Pierre Gasly and Perez. Gasly has had a shaky start to the season, so it's safe to assume that Perez is in a safe spot, but only if that's the only criteria that Red Bull executives are considering. But there is another wrench being thrown into the whole situation, with Porsche coming into the F1 world and who are expected to join forces with Red Bull. Porsche is under Volkswagen, who has previously worked with Red Bull in the World Championship, so a partnership between the two in the F1 space is almost a certainty. Volkswagen CEO Herbert Diess has openly said that he expects Porsche and Audi to try and put German drivers on the teams that they partner with now that they have entered the F1 space. Diess went on to say, "Of course, it's always the case that a driver from the right country can be very successful there, and Formula One becomes very popular. I assume we will try to employ German drivers in our two teams for sure. It helps in the home country, and I also know of plans that we will have a Grand Prix in Germany again, which should then also revive Formula One in Germany once more, so it makes sense internationally but also for Germany." So what could this mean for the second seat at Red Bull? For one, if the partnership does happen, then Perez will undoubtedly be out of a seat at Red Bull, and Gasly will lose his chance to drive for them as well. Currently, there are 2 German drivers on the grid, Sebastian Vettel and Nico Hülkenberg, who are both contracted to Aston Martin. Of the 2, Vettel would be the most likely candidate, since Vettel started his illustrious career with Red Bull and has still kept contact with Christian Horner and Helmut Marko. And as F1 personalities are prone to do, Vettel denied having any talks with Red Bull, but did not shut the door on the possibility, saying, "I haven't spoken with Christian Horner for a while, so I don't know. I mean, time will tell." Vettel's contract, like Sergio Perez, will be out by season's end, and he has said that the likelihood of him re-signing with the team depends on whether or not the team can climb up the grid and start battling for podium finishes. And so far, it's been a rocky start for Vettel, who had to be in quarantine for the first 2 races of the season, a DNF in Australia, and an 8th place finish in Imola. But Vettel would assure everyone that physically, he believes that he can still battle with the best of them. Now it's just about landing on the perfect team for Vettel. And of the 2 top teams, Red Bull really is the only one that would make sense, since Ferrari is set on their young driver duo. And as for the 32-year-old Sergio Perez, the Mexican driver has made it known that he has been considering retirement for some time now, especially with how much the sport has grown and races are being added to the calendar. While Perez does love that the sport is gaining popularity, he believes that adding more races to the calendar would eat up every bit of their time that could be allotted for themselves or their families. Perez went on to say, "People are into the sport a lot more. There's a very big demand. But on the other hand, having too many races is a no-go, at least for me. Right now, you're basically immersed in it because we have so many races. We have simulator sessions before each event. We have partner events. We basically have zero time for ourselves and for our families. I have a couple of young children, with a third on the way. I think if the calendar expands more, then I definitely will not do it." Perez still has 19 races to impress another team or fight to keep his spot at Red Bull. On the flip side, he also has 19 races to ponder on whether or not the F1 lifestyle is something he still wants to have. And as for Vettel, his team Aston Martin still has time to impress the racing legend before he starts taking offers from other teams. As Vettel would say, time will tell. But what do you think? Next season, will Vettel and Perez be in the same spots that they are right now, or will there be a big mix-up at season end? Let us know in the comment section below, and don't forget to like and subscribe to DRS Zone.